Hey guys, this is Nathan and welcome to the Gaming 4. Today in this update video, I'm going to be covering the changes that occurred in update 3.14.16.0. To start us off, I'm going to mention that the spawn system was completely overhauled. The old spawn system still works, but a lot was added to the way they work and the way modders can interact with them and how it introduces new stuff into old maps. I'm not going to get into all the details right now, but that will be for a separate video because there is a lot to go over and there's a lot that changed. So, besides that, there's quite a few changes that are pretty significant. One of which is that Nelson updated what you can salvage, and you can salvage now almost any melee weapon and almost any sort of clothing as well. So, of course, I'm not exactly sure what all the salvage recipes are. It looks like most of them go to metal, but this pretty much just allows you to get a lot more resources off of useless items that you just find throughout town. So it makes it a lot more useful in that way. Another thing that was changed is the despawn time of the rocket entity while it's flying through the air has been increased. Now, this means that you can shoot rockets farther. So I don't really have a good way of testing that besides just shooting rockets off. But yeah, that's much farther. It used to be that they would despawn usually, partially in the air, something like that. Now they're able to travel much farther distances when you shoot them into the air, and you can actually get pretty range with these things. So, yeah, much better. I'm sure there's still a limit on there, so I mean maybe at some point they'll despawn, but it is much improved. Now it is possible that you may be able to shoot straight up. Oh gosh. So, apparently now you guys can actually shoot rockets straight up in the air and they will come back down. So, whereas the distance isn't, unlimited, it's essentially unlimited because you can now shoot straight up and it will fall back down on you. So, yeah, another big change there. Another change that he added that will be pretty influential to survival is that there will now be a status bar when you are starting to die from lack of food, hunger, or infection. So pretty much it'll be around the same place as the bleeding bar is. It'll just have a new icon there so you know exactly what you're dying from. And that'll pretty much just help those that can't really keep track of how much infection and food and water they have. Another big change that has to do with these pump jacks is that they can now be placed on almost any material. So I'm not sure exactly what they can't be placed on, but as far as I know, they can be placed on sand, dirt, and grass. All of those. Probably gravel as well and maybe the road material. I'm not sure. It doesn't place on this other road object though. So there are some limitations still, but it's definitely been much improved. Another thing that has changed based on the safe zone radiator and the claim flag is that you can now see the boundaries of these. They've been updated just like the other generators have been. So you can see the nice green boundary of where the safe zone will be. Besides many of the physical changes, there's also been a lot of changes to the crafting menu. So now the available crafting recipes will be filtered to the top. As you can see, we can craft this rifle clip, and we can't craft any of these, and so these are going to be at the bottom. Similarly, we'll be able to craft the splint, but we can't craft any of these, and that'll pretty much be the same for all of the crafting recipes. So you'll be able to craft the ones that are at the top and not at the bottom. Another change related to crafting is that now when you're crafting ammunition, of course I don't have any, but it'll refill the emptiest ammo boxes before, or the emptiest clips as well, before it refills the fuller ones. So I'm not sure that's really a good thing, but it is what it is. The last few changes that'll affect your gameplay are that now leaning is toggleable. So you can now toggle leaning, and this will essentially be like this. I'm not holding E or Q, and if you press Q, it'll toggle it again. And if I press Q, it will undo it for me. Another change to graphics is that now foliage quality can be turned off. So it goes up to ultra, but if you click it again, it goes to off. And this has to do with one of the last issues that he had with the scope rendering. So what was happening is it was causing weird lag. I'm not going to get into the details, but pretty much now you can toggle it off. So somehow with the game working the way it did, you couldn't toggle it off before. Now you can. And so, yeah, now we've got a barren landscape here instead of seeing all the foliage that was there before. I want to just quickly bring to your attention, this is another change. You can now customize how much of your skills you lose on death, how many of your items you lose on death, and if you lose clothes or not. Now, obviously, if you uncheck this, you won't lose any of your clothes on death, but these ones actually have percentage values. So you lose 75% of your skills on death. You can change that to 1, and that'll be all of your skills on death. You can lower that to 0 so you don't lose any of your skills on death. Similarly with your items, if it's at 1, you lose all your items on death. You could set that to zero point 0.5 though. That'll allow you to lose only half your items on death, and it will be randomized. So that's another addition to the game. Will definitely change how you play, and this is found inside the advanced options or in the configuration folder for your servers. Alright guys, so that's all the important changes that were changed in update 3.14.16.0. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you liked the video. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe if you want to see some more. I will see you all later.